There. Good morning, Greg. All right. Okay. Let's see here. What's this do? Oh, I see. Ah. Okay. So I'm going to move you. All right. Good.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let me move this a little bit. I got going in my home studio.
Is it just us once again?
Huh?
Just the two of us?
Yeah, it's just the two of us this time. Howard is at Hood River, he says.
You know, if you, well, I gotta keep saying this, if you don't want to do this because there's only one or two of us, you know, I get it.
Oh, it's okay. I'll email you when I don't feel like doing it.
Okay, I gotta say also, I'll be gone all next week.
Oh, okay, that'd be great. That'll be my break.
Okay.
All right, so that'd be fine. Then I'll have next week off. Anyway, so I got this mat here, so maybe this is a little wider space. All right, so, oh yeah, this works out really well. Okay, ready? So let's inhale up. We're just going to stretch a little bit. Work a little bit more mobility today, maybe. So let's just take these easy stretching of the soft tissue. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time. Got to do the wide stance, slightly wider. Okay, don't forget to turn the hips. Turn the hips first. Let's just practice turning the hips, then put the hands together. So we inhale, and then turn the hips, and then exhale. Okay, turn the hips first, then inhale, and then exhale. Turn the hips, inhale, and then exhale. Turn the hips, inhale, and then exhale. Just back together. Okay, feet straight ahead. Pull the chin in. Let's inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Make sure we're straight. One more time. And then down. All right. So let's go with this one. We're going to add some stuff to this too. One. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All right, and let's relax. Let's go on up and down. Inhale up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Let's work again with the wrist mobility. Matter of fact, but before that, let's just do a little bit of just shaking it here. Just slightly. Okay, so let's do our curling of the wrist. Back and then open and push a little. Then back down, open out and down and pull. Okay, back around, in and push. Fingers stand up and then down, curl, over and down. One more time. Just You spread the fingers out too, just stretch all this, stretch all that. And then 1, 2, and then stretch all of this down here. Okay, and we shake it out. Okay, for the hip, we'll just do a swing. So nice and easy. Feel the feet. And feel like feel that hip joint. You can just kind of just even put your hands on the hip joint. See how the hip joint moves here. Okay. Keep the body upright. Head up, Greg. I can see from here.
Feels like it's up.
I have you on the little screen. I have you on the big screen because of the recording. I might try to upload it to YouTube, and then I'll have YouTube store the recording so you can just watch it on YouTube anytime.
That would be great.
Yeah, I think I'll do that. It will take a long time to upload it, but I think I can put it on YouTube. Okay, so I'll send you the link anyway, but I'll see if I can put it on YouTube, and then we'll see how that works. Okay, so the last one, what we're going to do is a little something different. This is to work on your hinge. So, and I know, so you don't have a hamstring in one leg, is that right?
Oh, it's just, I lost about maybe, I don't know, a third of it or a quarter of it. It ripped apart.
And is it like, it's not very flexible or loose?
I notice it at different times, you know, where I have less muscle there and it'll cramp up or I can't do things, but I think it's about as flexible. It's just that there's a big lump of muscle.
Okay. Let me just do this here. Okay. So, so we'll just start this. We'll just do this easy. So here's your hip joint. And you have your feet turned, I wouldn't say exactly in, but just kind of the outside of the feet parallel so that it looks like the inside of the feet kind of turns in. And I'll take my sweatshirt off first so you can see what I'm doing.
You know, just one more thing about my hamstring. It was like 10 years ago. So it's, you know, it doesn't ever hurt or anything like that. It's not a problem that way.
What's that, Greg?
Oh, I said my hamstring, it was 10 years ago, so it doesn't hurt. It's not a problem doing anything, you know.
All right. So here we are with our feet slightly ahead. I think I'll better face you. Okay. I'm going to push back, and I don't need to lean. I don't want to hunch my chest. I'm just going to push back and put the weight back there. So I get right into here. Okay. And I'm going to try to sit more back. I can let the knees bend and keep the head up. And so I'm really working the low back. And you just feel how you can actually, you know, if you touch your hands, you can feel how they work. Okay. Now to add a little bit more intensity, you just kind of bring your hands out. So this has a weight, but hold on to your core, hold on to your back. Feel your hamstrings, feel the back of your leg, feel the whole posterior chain, and then drive your hips forward and up. Do it again. We'll just do maybe 3. And you really got to pull up so you don't do this with the low back. That's a real good low back strengthener. Okay. So you don't need to go far forward. You just got to work this hinge. And feel the feet tight, tear the floor apart. You can almost, well, I feel the feet tearing the floor apart because I hold into this position. I'm holding my hands out like here to add a little bit more intensity. You can keep them here if you want. Okay, but it adds a little bit more like weight out there to really put a more strength into the low back and we'll strengthen the back side of the body.
Yeah.
Okay, let's come on up and just drive up with the hips. All right, and so let's go back to our little swing, warm that up. Let me put you back on so I can see you. All right, let me just do this. We'll go to gallery mode. All right, just a few swings. Let's go ahead and rub the low back a little bit, get some blood in there. Yeah, it's a nice little exercise. It just takes that mild to make sure, because it's a way to kind of strengthen the low back and lengthen the spine. In the beginning, it can be hard. Okay. Now I want to do this especially for you. So I better put myself on the pin now. So, okay. So I'll put myself here on the pin. Okay. So we're just gonna just kind of warm up your shoulder a little bit. We'll go one at a time. And I'm gonna come up, keeping the shoulder, and then down. Okay. You can warm up the elbow a little bit. Try to keep it down a little bit. Okay. And you can just turn it out. We're gonna do both sides, obviously. Just kind of feel that, just you can feel that movement in there. We're gonna do the other side. So just down. Okay. So we do this in the Chen, but it's more body, it's more body related, but I just want to get your shoulder joint working. And then you can just kind of go up and down. Okay, and then we can just one palm up, one palm down, and then just twist. Keeping the shoulders down and try to lengthen out, lengthening out one side, lengthen out. And keeping this part engaged so it stays down. Good. You can also play around with it a little bit, like turning the hips into it, reaching. We can also add something else for you. You can just kind of palm, fingers up. Okay, so we're working stretching this muscle for you. 1, 2. Sounds like your knee's good, so that's good. All right. Okay. All right, we can go ahead and do the silk reeling now. Okay, so yeah, let's just warm up the knee just a little. So I'm going to do a little, now hold the low back. Okay, and we just do a little circle with the knee. And working the ankle. So we're talking about dorsiflexion, right? So there's dorsiflexion here, where where you can pull the toes up to the shins. Don't let the knee go too far. So I don't go all the way out here. I'm just going to just gently work in here, because I'm more about mobility at the moment, not end range, right? There's end range, and then there's useful range. Straighten up a little bit. Okay. So useful range for some people is really wide, and for some people it's really narrow. But useful range is, and then end range is like way out here, like you're out of your body, right? So useful range, it can be different for different people, and we try to explore the ends of one's range and try to make take the ends and make them into useful. So you kind of make that useful range a little bit bigger and bigger. Okay, so let's go ahead and work with our silk reeling, and we're just going to start nice and easy. Sit into your hip joint. Okay, so remember your hips. Just find those hips, and then we're just going to learn how to move them. Feel that movement. Okay. And really feel as you move them, you're still into the ground. Like I'm going to take my body, I'm going to screw it into the ground, and then I'm turning and screw it into the ground the other way. So you can just take your hands. Imagine you have like a, I don't know, something you're going to turn into the ground. So you just turn it with your body. Okay. And just feel that. And just be easy on the knee. So you want to keep your knee, above your ankle or behind your ankle slightly. Good. And we can just put the hands on the hip and then just feel how that works. Okay. One thing to be careful is like we don't pop out of the hip. So you want to stay into the hip and feel how the weight sinks through to the foot. sometimes we let the weight go to the knee and the knee caves in. So we want to make sure that the knee stays nice and healthy. Okay, so let's add a little bit of handwork. Okay, so we warmed up your shoulder a little bit. So let's just kind of put it out here like this and then just drop it. I think this is not a bad view here. So I'm going to just drop my shoulder. I keep my head straight and just feel that relaxation. You know, if you drop the shoulder and keep your head up, you feel all kinds of stretching in the upper body, and then you'll feel your weight go right down to your feet. And imagine the weight that you're pressing on the floor just by relaxing your body. So you're really pressing on the floor. And we're just going to drop the arm. You drop your arm, you feel like you're pressing. You just feel that you're pressing on the floor. Don't try to press on the floor. Just use the weight of your arm to imagine putting more weight on the feet to the floor. Okay, and then when we come up, now we don't do this to come up. We just kind of, as you come up, feel that weight still on the feet, still pressing on the floor. And then relax. Notice my palm is relaxed here. My fingers extend. Now for you, you know, your fingers may not extend up that far. So just feel that relaxation in the palm. Okay. So my point is, like, some people have more, you know, range. We talk about range, right? So some people's range is like here, and they can relax to here. Some people can even relax to here. I can't go that far. But just whatever that relax. So for you, it might be just here, or you can hear, but that's where relax is for you. Okay, so just kind of find where the hand just sits and relaxes like that. It's on that table, and then just drop. As I'm picking up a heavy weight, bringing it out. So it's a heavy weight, you have to use your legs. And turn your hip to bring it over. So we talked about how the hips direct the hands. Okay, and I think I might show you just kind of this. It's just a slight, it's kind of like an exercise, but it's not something you have to do all the time, but it's a good way to hook into a movement. So we'll work a little bit with that. And just feel your hips move. Feel your hips move. Hand works with the hip. Okay. So put your mind more or less in here. You put your hand here if you like. Or just go slow. Open the hand, let the fingers open naturally. You can let the fingers fall so you can work a little bit of that Chen concept of using the wrist. Now the hand, when it comes here, okay, when it comes here, it's not way out here because then I'm out of my alignment, out of my structure. I want to be here, stable, right? I'm here. Now, as you talked about range and end range, so this might be the end range, and I would have to do this to stay balanced. I want to be able to be balanced and upright. Then relax. Turn my hip. Relax. Okay. One. So we'll do the other side, and I think I'll show you this little type of exercise to work on. And we do the other side. Hand relax. Sink into the hips. One. Two. So I tell you, this is like, this is stuff, this is if you really want to get far into, like, I guess, Chen and Tai Chi and everything, just learning to use the weight of the body into the ground and relaxing. And you will actually can feel the weight of the body, right? And feel the proper movement of the joints. Okay, you can turn your feet. If you want, you can turn your feet. I can turn my feet. because I want my feet to follow my hips. So we do a couple of these just to kind of get the strength in the legs. All right, so my hips turn my hand. All right, so I'm going to show you this exercise. If you have your stick available, that's great. But I have my stick here. And oh, this is useful. Okay, so let me just show you this. Here's my stick. Here's my hand. I'm not going to grab my stick, right? I'm going to just let it lay in my hand like this. Okay. Now, you should move the stick with your hand, but keep the stick here and then move with your body. Okay. Then you can switch it and then move it with your body so your hand is stable. So basically, this helps me learn to move my arm with my body. I can go back, I can go slightly forward. If I go too far, I'll fall over. Okay. And I could sink, I could turn it. All right. What I don't want to do is use my arm. Okay. I could do a couple more of these. Okay. And you can put the hand here like our Chen style. All right. You can't really do the full Chen thing, I guess, with it. But you notice that I have to use my body to move the stick. My stick is not, I'm not doing this. All right. Two. You know, and if you want, you can kind of try to practice like little circles. But trying to use your body to work the weapon. Okay. And if you want, you can go lower. Here you have to kind of hook the stick so it doesn't fall out your hand. But it doesn't move with the hand. It moves because I move my lower body. I go the other way. Come on up. I can switch hands. Let's do it one more time. I just this side. So down, up. Go the other way. You can turn. So, I mean, you have to hold the stick, also fall out. But you don't move it with the hand, with the arm. Okay. And you put it back in the center. Okay. All right. Okay. So there's it's a little exercise. So hopefully, you know, even when we do our swings, I guess, I'm not sure how that would work. You know, so I'm not doing this. So you can try to do you know, it doesn't work as well, obviously, but you can try that so you can get more into your body. All right, let me go back to gallery mode. So hopefully that would be useful to you. Okay. So we kind of practice that thing with the stick a little bit, so we know that the hand moves with the body. So we can go back to our so breathing. So we're just going to relax. Hand moves with the body. Hand moves with the body. So we can go slow and just kind of focus on hand movement with the body. Okay. So the hand out is moving, but you're letting it relax and let the body, it's like the body carries the hand along. No strength in the arm. You know, there's some strength because you have to hold your arm up, but no excessive strength, let's say that. Okay, so let's go and so let's do a nice easy switch. So 1, 2, and 3. Good, excellent. Okay, hand moves with the body. Relax the shoulder. Okay. If you relax the shoulder, you create more space away from your acromion process, which is impinging on your tendon. So just relax the shoulder, create more space for that tendon. Keep breathing. turning the hip. Okay. Let's practice a little bit of the end of the range. I'm going to turn the hip. Make sure you turn the feet if you need to turn feet. So I'm going to bring my hand over pretty far opposite, but only because I'm turning at the hip. Okay, so I'm practicing a little bit of end range. I'm going to push off and turn the body to bring the hand all the way over. Okay, I can practice a little more end range the other way, but I have to turn. Don't go too far over, because otherwise you'll have to do some torquing. But just see how far you can go while still maintaining your form. Keep the body upright. Don't lean over. Okay. So even though I don't want to lean over. I just wanted to see how far I can just naturally turn. And I'm going to hit a point where I have to stop, because if I go more, everything's going to go out of alignment. Okay. And then I'm going to drop. Good. Okay. So let's do this one. This will be for your shoulder. And let's go lazy drag. We've done this before. So it's just going to give you a little bit more shoulder mobility. So we can start with one hand. Okay, so right now this is just only my arm, right? So I'm going to move my body and take my hand that's pinned here and move my body away. So bring my body to my hand. Okay, I bring my body to my hand. So it's like my hand doesn't move any geographically in space. My body's moving toward my hand. Okay, and then I'm going to face the palm, turn the palm over, and then move my body away from the hand. Bring my body close to the hand, turn my palm and elbow over, and then move my body away. Come back, turn my palm over, turn my elbow, and then move my body away, and then relax in that shoulder joint. See if you can just almost let the shoulder joint just relax. As you relax, you feel like you create space in the shoulder joint. Okay, try to relax these muscles in the neck. Let's try the other side. We can do one hand here. Okay, so it's just, so you bring the body to the hand, take the body away from the hand. Bring the body to the hand, take the body away, right? So bring the body to the hand, flip the arm over, and take the body away. 1, 2, be careful of the knees, use the hip. Okay, good. Bring your hand, bring your body, bring your face to the hand with your body, right? Bring your body over and then away. Good. And it kind of ends up looking like this. Okay. And then you can feel like all the muscles work it. And you feel it like all down your ribs or down your side, down the back, and all the muscles work. You add a little bit of intention into the muscle group, using the hip and coming over, using the hip, using the feet, feel the feet into the ground. And I'm really driving with the legs now. Okay, I'm having my shoulders nice and relaxed. So my body is just moving along. My hands are just turning and bending. My elbows just turning and bending. But I'm just moving my body. Good, okay. Let's work a few of the movements from Chen. Oh, yeah, okay, let's do this one. So we have worked on, I think last time you came to the Sunday, and also on the last video, we did this dropping idea. There's this guy, Master Wang. He's this little, I mean, he was a small guy, he's smaller than me. And he had this exercise. I'm just seeing the trash company come. Okay, he had this exercise, and it looked like this. And we're not going to do this exercise, but let me just show it to you. He would put his hands here. Maybe you showed it last time, and he would just kind of bounce like this. And so what he's doing, he's practicing. Let me see if I have something here. If this was his body, he was practicing this inside his body, right? So this is like 6 pounds. He was just like pretending this was his body, and he was just like learning how to drop his body.
Yeah.
And so that's what his exercise was. All right. But we're going to try a little bit something. We're going to try to do it like in from a Chen kind of style because it's a Chen class. Okay, so feet, a little bit wider than shoulder width, and we've tried this before. We can come up, feel the weight of the hand, and sit into the hip. That's all. One. So the hands just kind of just follow the hip. Now, in fact, you can think of the body drop first and then the hand drop. Okay. Now, the one thing we want to be sure is like we keep the spine straight, right? Keep the spine straight. Just relax, imagine coming up, and then drop the hip. So you don't have to even raise the hip up very high. Okay, so we make this a little bit Chen style because Chen has a lot of this winding. So we wind, come up, unwind, wind. So palm, face palm, come up, elbows drop. So my elbows drop, my shoulders drop. So my elbows drop, my shoulders drop, and I just bend at the elbow, feel the legs drive up, and then drop. One, drop, two, drop, three, drop, four, drop. You can alternate with hands in front too. Okay. Keep the chin up. It's really a lot of leg work, right? This is why this hip joint is so important. A lot of things happen in using the hip. Okay. Our Western society, we're not into using the hip, right? Because we're uptight Victorians or something. I don't know. So people, especially guys don't want to be doing this unless you're like hula hooping in Hawaii. Okay. Okay. So then you can add. Then you can just do. So this is two hands at once. Right. Two hands at once. You can do one hand. When you do one hand, feel the weight drop in the body. Feel how it drops, and it drops straight, so it doesn't drop forward. It drops straight down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just feel the weight drop. Keep the chin straight. Keep the neck straight. And I have to turn my hip a little and turn my hip back. So remember, the hand follows the hip, right? So I don't bring my hand over and then do this. See, there's no hip work. There's no body work. So I turn the hip a little bit, turn the hip back. Okay. And this is the easier version in the sense that it's easy to just drop the hand down. Okay, so we're going to do the other way. So turning the hip. Turn the hip. And just try to relax. 2, 3, 4. You can even make it even more casual, I guess. Just, kind of like that. My teacher, Master Chen, he wasn't a Chen guy, but he had this whole, he really knew how to do this because he would just kind of drop like this. And it really, really hurt. He hit a friend of mine in the forearm with that, and he had a knot. When you hit a muscle, it gets a knot. So he had a knot in his forearm for about 2 months or a month. It wouldn't go away. And you can even do it yourself. You can just see how, maybe that's not the good place to hit your arm, but you can just see how that relaxation has that heaviness into it, right? This is just the weight of your arm, right? So if you add your hip weight to it, right? If you add your hip weight to it, everything is just really going to be heavy. So that's kind of the, I wouldn't exactly call it a secret, but it's just, one of the training methods. Okay. So let's just add, okay, so we kind of get this idea of the hip weight. So then let's work with the punch, the Chen punch. because the punch has to be rooted into the ground. Okay, and we can look at it also from a health perspective, not learning just how to punch people. Let me, for the sake of the video, I'll go highlight myself again. Okay. I think I got this whole thing down now. All right. So we can just take a stance like this. Let me see here. How am I going to do this? So this is straight ahead. I'm going to be off in an angle because so if this is straight, I'm going to punch off slightly off in an angle. Okay. All right. So I could punch. Let me show you this way so you can see what I'm talking about. So here's straight. Here's in an angle. Okay. Now we can punch like so my arm out. Okay. Or I could try to root and just tear my arm out of the shoulder socket, which is probably not a good idea either. All right. So everything has to be relaxed and connected. So you just start with just taking the hand out, and then as I finish, feel the weight drop, like this one. And you don't have to extend it very far. And I don't want to have my arm, I'm not pushing my arm. I just want to just bring my arm out and then just drop. So maybe you can think of drop and then bring your arm out. So it's just kind of like arm out, drop. Arm out, no force, no strength in the arm. Drop. Okay. And then we use our hip because this is Chen and there's a lot of twisty things in it. And I'm going to use my feet. I'm going to root and then drop. Okay. So I'm going to use my hip, drop, and work on my posture. Till, right? One, drop. You could bring this hand out. Helps you with the twisting, and just think more of this like a twisting exercise. And dropping. So the thing is, okay, we talked about end range of motion and being in your body. So I don't want to punch so far out I can be pulled off. So I have to find a place where both feet can support me, and I feel very stable. Okay. And then I can load my hip, and then just gently drop. So I can load my hip and like drop my hip in. I know that image makes sense to you. And we just kind of work this a little bit, right? We'll do both sides. I can like really load my hip if I want and drive through. Okay. And I'm not really so much pushing my back foot in as much as I feel like I really drop my weight down. Okay, so one. I can think of grabbing and bringing out. Okay, so I can make it very circular if you like. So I'm just making it very circular. Okay, and so I'm just working the joints here. I'm working the joints. And we can face the other way just by pivoting. I just pivot and just like 180 or something. And I'll just work the other way. So just work and just drop. So I can warm it up a little bit, just kind of just feel what it's like just to relax my arm, relax my arm. I have to admit this side is not as familiar to me because I always use this one. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. You should think a little bit of extension too. Not like throwing yourself out in the body, but just like expanding your body almost. Okay. See if you could drop into your hip. Find a place that's comfortable for your feet to be in. Okay. You can also practice like stretching in this posture, but starting to maintain being balanced. Okay, just a 1, and then just relax that punch to drop in. Okay, just relax. Let me show you this way, I think. 1. You can make it very circular. 2. And the punch can come from underneath. It doesn't have to come straight out from the shoulder. Have it come from underneath and up. Actually, that's even better. It's more relaxed. 2. The weight of this arm is heavy. Okay. They follow the hip. They follow the hip. We can come back to the middle and we can just work on our drop. Okay. So if you kind of get to lose the sense of the drop, all right, and then you come back with the punch. Okay. And just to your next drop. It becomes more and more subtle as you get used to it. So maybe in the beginning, you kind of like really dropping because you're trying to figure that feeling out. It's almost like I just fall into a chair. And then we can just switch, and then you can alternate. Okay, and in the Chen form itself, they don't alternate the punch. But you know, we're just trying to get a little exercise and working the hip joint. All right. Okay, so let's go back to doing some Chen form. Okay. You know, one thing about like some martial art classes, or like maybe like in karate, there's so much focus is on the punch. You just hope that they train everything else correctly, right? You just hope that they don't throw the shoulder out or that kind of thing. Everything's all about the punch. That's not my focus. My focus is like, how does it feel on the inside, and then see what the inside can do with the outside. Okay, so let's try a little bit of Chen form. Yeah, because it's the only time. And then we can work on some of the shapes in the Chen form. There might be a little that we see over and over. So the punch you see over and over. Okay, so that's kind of that's a good thing to work on. Okay, so let's just do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. I was thinking we'd go to the brush knee, but we'll get to the brush knee in the form, and that would be a good place to start. Okay, so I think this is a good view for you here. I really like this big mat. This actually works really well. Okay, so we go with the beginning of the front, facing forward. Pull the chin in. Relax the rib cage, straight down the body. Chin in, head up, back of the head up. Okay. Let's double check our feet, feel the feet into the ground. Brace the core a little. Okay, so we talked about the drop, right? So now you just let your body just sink into the ground. All right. Ball the big toe, ball the pinky toe, and the heel, feel connected to the ground, the floor. Okay, so there's a problem in this corner. So we turn our hip and allow that to dictate how the knees and ankle bend. And turn our hip back, allow that to dictate how the knees and ankle bend. So our hip is doing the controlling. Come back, and then I turn my hip again. You really think about your center moving through this. Okay, come through. Okay, let's slide the center of gravity over to the right leg. As I come through to the right leg, I push down in the ground with my right leg now is my support. Okay, think of it as a pile that's driven into the ground, and then step out, heel first. Okay, right leg is really working now, so then just relieve it. Put it in the hip and push out. One. Okay, pull. Relax the shoulders. Elbow. We're going to step through, pivot, open the left hip, and come through. Okay, chin in, body straight, shoulders down, knee up. Okay, and then just relax the foot down. So one, down. All right, so let's go to the right and to the left. Now, even though we work so much at the beginning of the form, that's okay, because all the foundation is here. And that's what you really want to work on. This stability, stepping out, and then shifting the weight through. And you drop into the position. Right? I don't throw myself into position. I just kind of settle into the position. So I'm nice and stable. I want to feel, now where are my hips? Are my hips forward or too far back? I want to find a place where I engage my legs, but I don't want to strain my knee. And my hips are carrying the weight, the strongest part of my body. And then I'm going to come shoulders down, elbow down, turning the hip a little to open the hand. Remember we did that stick exercise? So the hand opens because I turn my body. Then relax the arm, the weight of the arm just sinks through. 1. Okay, and remember this exercise with the punch, except this time it goes this way. And here's that body weight, just drops down. Open. We're going to pull across. And as I pull across, I just keep my feet in the ground. So I'm always in the ground. Okay, and just relax the shoulders, relax the elbows down. So even in this posture, I feel both feet really into the ground. Relax the shoulders, open the hands. I'm going to come in and I'm going to like step in, slide your hips over, slide my hips into the position here. And then turning my hip joint, not excessive, just to this much. Body upright, chin in, turn my hips back, look, send the hook. Oh yeah, we had done, let me see, we had done this side here, where we just kind of do the rolling, which is kind of nice. It's a very nice kind of feel. So we just practice the rolling a little bit. So you'll go ahead, do the roll, out, and look, relax the shoulder, pull up, and then we do the chin version of shingle whip. So I'm going to move my hips over to here, 1, back over to the right a little bit, come out to the left. And so my front of my body is facing forward. My arms are curved like in a semi-oval. Okay. My weight my stance is slightly over to the left, but both feet are into the ground. Both feet are really feeling like they're rooted into the ground. Okay. I can feel a little bit of pulling back, just a slight, so I can get that sinking into the heel. And I could settle here. And we're going to go on, and then we're going to work a little bit of the brush knee position. So I'm going to do just like the beginning. I'll do my push, take my back foot, turn it into where I'm going to push. Pull. Okay, elbow, hand, face, step through, pull the chin in, push down the left leg. So the left leg is your root, your support. Okay. And then just relax, drop the weight. All right, so this one is just drop the weight. All right, so let's go from here, and we'll just work on the next move. Here, I really like this, man. I should get another one, but then the whole living room will be covered with this. It's probably not a good idea. Okay, so we're gonna do our fake right, go left, right? So, but this way, facing this way. Fake right, go left, open, right? Turn, just like the beginning. This time we take a short step out. Okay, so this is just a shorter stance version of this. And this time we come up. Now here, the deal is to, you stay where you are, Greg. I'll just show you the problems. Here it could be like this, or like this. I want to be like this. Okay, and I don't want to be like this. I want to be straight. So my body is always straight, and my hips can control where I want to put our position. All right, and we'll just practice this move. This is just like in Yang style. Okay, so and then I just turn down and around. So that's just like Yang style. If I turn over, down, and around. Okay, so. Okay, so let me see here. So we had 1, down, and around. Down. And I can really move the hip around. So get the whole idea, just so move the hip around. That right leg is your support leg. So you're just working. Unfortunately, we're doing so much of this, so we're probably just overdeveloping the one side. But okay. All right, just relax, let the arms just fall. Remember, the arms follow the hip. Okay, ready? So let's go 1, 2, turn the hip. And we'll just do this nice and easy. And then we're going to step out to brush knee. There we go. Okay, so ready? So let's just go 1. So this is very much like yang style. And then 2. If my posture is more open. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Now this hand is not way out here. Okay, and it's not in front. It's still within the curve of my shoulder blade. Okay. Now, even though the hand is like out of, it seems like out of my body, see if you can mentally relax it into your body. See if you mentally relax this arm into your body, into your leg. So let's try from here. 1, 2, step in, and then lift up. As I lift up, the shoulder drops because I'm using these muscles. You know, it feels like I'm probably not technically using those muscles, but it feels like I'm resting my arm on my body. Good. Okay, so we're going to try from here. 1, turn the hip, step out. 1. Okay. Then we're going to open. And then we just kind of do this exercise with the back leg and the front leg. So we remember we did this kind of rowing exercise in the yang class on Tuesday. So this is basically the same idea. I'm using my hip, using my leg. Okay. Okay, so, and I'm going to use my hip a little bit more. As I come back, I'm going to open and turn to the front, kind of like the push. Open, turn to the front. Try to stay in your hip as opposed to like kind of pushing off, like out. So try to stay in balance, nice and relaxed. And we're going to have to probably work the other side as a different exercise. Okay. So right now, the right leg is really working. And then we're going to come back, pull the knee up. We talked a lot yesterday about one leg posture, right? So we can practice 1, we do a chop, and 3. All right. So from here, we're just going to rest a little bit. And from here, we can just practice. So I'm just trying to make this a little easy. And we're going to practice our little heavyweight thing. All right. We can practice our heavyweight thing. We can just practice that. Okay. Good. One more time. And now I'm going to change it a little bit. So 1 is down, 1 is out. 1. But it's still with the weight. Okay. 2. So just the weight drops. Okay. This will help us with. Now, be careful when you drop the weight. There's a tendency, you might have a tendency to fall forward. So push your knee forward. So when you drop, it's like you drop your butt. Just drop your butt. Drop your hip. Good. And let's relax. And I want to make sure we spend time on the other leg. Okay. So we really work, I think, the right leg. So let's see if we can work the left leg. Okay, so how would I do that? Okay. So we could work the left leg. So we just come up and then we'll have to do it like in a Chen way, but just come up and just kind of like hold up here. And find that leg. Okay. And then come out. We can do our drop. All right. And then we could just, work the brush knee from this side. So we can just work the brush knee from the other side. Find your hip and find how the hip directs and how you drive the weight from your feet. And when I finish my brush knee, it's like I settle my body into the shape. And I'm going to transition out of the shape. So notice the transition, how you transition in and out of the shape. Okay. And then we're gonna do the open. So we had all that opening, like in the other side, right? We're gonna do the open, working that back leg a little bit. Okay, 1, open, 2. Pull my front leg back and drive the back leg into the ground, pull the knee up, work this whole muscle chain here, but relax the foot and work on that one leg posture. Okay. Good. All right. All right, let's relax a little bit. All right. Okay. Let's do a few swings, but nice and slow. Working with the hip joint. You could slide over to one leg and slide over to the other. Work with the hip joint now. Try not to pop up and down. Just try to keep the body upright and just slide over. Keep the head, look straight up, look straight ahead. Okay, 1, 2. Don't look down. Think of the hip. Okay, very good. Let's inhale. Let's do a little bit of the Qigong. If you notice in this practice, is kind of, we don't do a lot of different things so much. But we're really exploring what's going on in here. So I'm hoping that you have a lot of work in here, and you can feel your legs a little bit, your hamstrings and stuff. Shoulders nice and relaxed. Pull the chin in. We'll do a little bit of our Qigong move. Okay, so remember, this is like, being straight is like super important for this. Okay, ready? Feel the feet again into the ground. It's like the back side of your leg sinks into the ground, and then your front side just lifts and straightens up, not out. Okay, and then we're gonna go 1, 2. Okay, we'll do it again. Let's do the next move in the sequence. It's a little bit of a horse stance. Sit back a little bit. We're just here. So I'm going to then fold my hip a little. I come up. Again, relax the shoulders. The weight of the arms is supported underneath, not by the shoulder, not by the top of the shoulders. Separate, and then unhinge the hip as you come up. Okay, let's hinge the hip back a little. Lift, imagine you're lifting a big pole or something. Separate, unhinge the hip. Okay, one more time. Pull the hip back. Hinge the hip. Lift up here. Okay, and then palms here. Turning to the face, then turn down. And then push the heel of the palm out. And then we just lift gently. Inhale. And then exhale. This is very similar to what we do in the beginning. Let's do it one more time. Come up and then relax down. We'll go again. Up. Reaching out. Fingers, relax down. Good. All right, very good. Excellent, great, very good, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so I'll send you the link, and I'll see. I think it takes like forever to put it on YouTube because I don't have the stupid upload speed.
Oh.
But I'll try to put it on YouTube, and then I'll send you the link to the YouTube once it's up there, and you can just get it on YouTube. It'll always be on YouTube, and it'll be on YouTube's memory, not my memory.
Yeah. That would be wonderful. But if it doesn't work, that's okay. It would be great. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so Greg, I will see you, I guess, in a couple of weeks. So whenever you get back.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
great. I'll see you later. I'll send you Sunday's link too. Okay.
Okay, thank you. And I got one more thing. I just want to say I have never felt better.
Oh, great.
Thank you.
Oh, well, okay.
Okay.
That's good to know.
Thanks again.
I must be doing something right.
You are. You are.
I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.